7th, 2023, a day now permanently pierced into history when the world witnessed evil in its purest form. Israelis were wrapping up the festival of Sukkot when sirens rang out. Israel was under violent attack. Like many Canadians, I was horrified to wake up to the news, images, and videos coming out of Israel. This deliberate, coordinated attack by Hamas terrorists was despicable, unjustified, and I condemn it unequivocally. Israel has the right to defend itself just as Canada would if this attack was carried out on our soil. This shouldn't be difficult to say. But some Canadian politicians and some in the media couldn't find the moral courage to say so. We've seen statements put out by both Liberal and NDP politicians that were so outrageous and morally bankrupt, they had to be walked back or deleted. The CBC instructed its employees to avoid referring to Hamas as terrorists. Our own state broadcaster ignored the fact that Hamas was put on the terrorist entity list by the Government of Canada in 2002, describing Hamas as, quote, a radical Islamist nationalist terrorist organization, end quote. We've seen reprehensible celebrations of these terrorist attacks right here in Canada, including shamefully in my own community in BC. On Friday in my community, a rabbi's home was vandalized with eggs and had a swastika drawn on his window. This is disgusting, unacceptable, and this hate should not be tolerated in our country, full stop. I condemn these celebrations and condemn the ideology of hate that has no place in Canada. There is no moral equivalence between Hamas terrorists who slaughter innocents, savagely rape women and children, behead babies, use their own people as human shields, and Israel exercising their right to defend themselves. This is a time for moral clarity. I hope the CBC is paying attention when I say that Hamas is not a militant organization, a resistance, or an activist group. Hamas is a sadistic, barbaric, terrorist death cult with no respect for human life. There can be no negotiating with Hamas. They must be defeated and destroyed. Their enablers must be exposed for the vile anti-Semites that they are. This includes state sponsors of terrorism, including the dictatorship in Tehran. I have seen firsthand the strength of the Israeli people and how Israelis live under existential threat from Hamas, funded by Iran and other hostile actors in the region. Now this threat is reality. My heart breaks for the families who have been destroyed, especially the families of the 7 Canadians who were ruthlessly murdered. Last night in South Surrey, I attended a rally in support of the Jewish community and spoke to friends of Ben Mizrachi, a 22-year-old British Columbian murdered at the music festival. He was using his training as a medic with the IDF to help people who were wounded in the attack. He was trying to save lives when he tragically lost his own. For those still in danger, we must do everything we can to bring them home safe. As we continue to watch the horrific events unfolding in Israel, there are concrete actions that Canada can and must take. First, Canada must criminalize the IRGC, the terrorist arm of the Iranian government. Today, again, the Liberals blocked the passage of a Conservative bill that would have taken this necessary first step. Second, there are Canadians missing and presumed to be among the hostages. The government must demand the immediate release of our citizens and all hostages taken by Hamas. Third, Conservatives are calling for a full review of all foreign aid programs to ensure no Canadian tax dollars are going to support terrorism. Fourth, we must protect Canadian places of worship. Every person of faith has a constitutional right to worship here in Canada. Never again is a phrase that is associated with the atrocities of the Holocaust. Never again is now. Jewish people around the world are remarkably resilient. They choose to believe the promises of Scripture that better days and peace lie ahead. However, they should not be continuously forced to prove their resilience by malevolent forces against their own existence. I am proud to stand with our friend and ally, Israel. Thank you.